Hi sir, today I'm going to recite the 80 definition of terms about our subject in Crim 4. So let's start. First, we have the ethics. It's a branch of philosophy. It studies a principle or the right or wrong. The Latin word of ethos or ethicus means the customary behavior or moral, and the Greek word ethicus, which means the customary. Importance of ethics is the indispensable knowledge. Without moral perception, man is only animal. Without morality, man's rational being is a failure. Morality is the quality of human acts by which they are constituted as a good, bad, or indifferent. Moral integrity is the only true measures of what mind ought to be. Ethics, in uh, ethics, the rules of the social system provides with us. Uh, ano yan? Ethics. Ano yan? Ethics. Moral, it is our principles. Next, we have the general ethics. General ethics is the study of general principles of morality. Special ethics, the study of the application of general principles of morality. Professional ethics, a sub-branch of special ethics. And special ethics, set of the moral code which is every possession must be subscribed, aims to guide actions professionals practice of his profession. Police ethics, a practical science that the principles of human morality due to applied of law enforcement. Human acts, which is the human acts which is the proceeds from the deliberate free will of human. And free will of human acts is the wide sense. It means that sort of activity, internal or external, physical or spiritual, performed by human being. And elected acts, those performed by will and are not embodied externalized. Wish is the intensity of will towards something or the whether they will be realized or not. And intention is the tendency of the will towards something attainable but without necessarily committing oneself to within it. And consent is the acceptance of the will needed to carry out it is the emotions. Elections is the selection those affected enough to carry out intention. And intention, use, it is the command of the of to use is to make is the command of to make use of this means elected to carry out intentions. Use, fruition is the enjoyment of will derived from the state attainment of the thing he had desired or earlier. Fruition, commandment acts, those are either reasoning those are man's mental body powers used under the command of will. Internal actions, conscious reasoning, recalling, external actions, walking, acting, and dancing. The internal and external movements examples are studying, driving, playing music, playing chess. Next we have the moral 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 distinctions. Moral distinctions is dictates or reason studies for the norms of morality, which is the standard which are actions judged as their merits or demerits. Mm, demerits. Ano yung susunod ng demerits? Moral. Good actions which are conformity with the norms of morality. Immoral or the bad actions which are not conformity with the norm of morality. And immoral. Amoral is the indifferent actions which stands at neutral in relation of the norms of informality. And morality. Voluntariness is the comes from the Latin word voluntas, or the revealing to the will. And revealing to the will, voluntariness essentials to act without it an acmer of a man. Direct voluntariness is the primarily intended by the order, by the doer, either as an end or a means to achieve something. Direct voluntary is primarily intended by the doer, either as an end in itself achieve something. Indirect voluntariness, act or situation which merely result of directly willed act. Perfect voluntariness, persons who fully knows or fully intends an act. Imperfect voluntariness, persons that are not capable persons who are without fully realizing what he means to do, or without fully intending to act. Conditional voluntariness, person who is forced by the circumstance beyond his control. Simple voluntariness, person doing an act willing for regardless with whether he likes to do or not, it is positive or negative. And ignorance, absence of knowledge, which a person ought to possess. Passion, either tendencies durable objects, tendencies away from the admissible harm all things. And passion, ano susunod sa passion? Positive emotion, love, desire, hope, and bravery. In negative emotion, we have here in hatred, horror, sadness, despair, hatred, and anger. Fear is disturbance of mind, person who is confronted by impending danger to harm himself or to loved ones. Violence, physical force extended to person. Habit is the lasting residence, facility born of frequently repeated for acts of the circumstances. Habit natin. Habit, habit forming that used to refer in certain experience shows of how easily it's for one to acquire habit. Kagandahan ng loob, it refers to attitude that is stands for for all of us that good, well, kaibigan o inhuman being. Natural rights based on natural laws is human nature. In human rights, um, uh, based on human positive laws, either those are enacted by the state or religious sect. Civil rights dependent upon the laws of the state. Essentials or dependent upon the laws uh, of a church. Um, Rights of property, power to own, to sell, or to barter, to lend, or to exchange. Juridical rights. All rights is far for so far are based on laws. And objectively, it is anything we obliged to do or to omit. Subjectively, it is more obligation to incumbent upon the persons or doing doing omitting or avoiding something. And subjectively, duty is a more obligation cause of independence of free will. Bill of rights, collection of most important of rights of ano? Citizens of a country. Due process requirement that legal matter must be resolved to establishment rules and principles. Warrant of arrest. Arrest warrant is document issued by the judge and authorize the police to take a person accused of the crime into custody. Warrant of arrest. Search warrant. A warrant issued by the competent of authority and authorizing the police officer to search a particular things inside the house or inside the buildings of or inside the house of a person. Probable cause, it's a requirement criminal law that must be before police officer can make arrest or conduct a search, seize property, or get a warrant. And warrant, flagrante delicto. Flagrante delicto is the person must to be arrested actually committing the crime. Citizen arrest, warrantless arrest performed by a citizen. Warrantless searching without a warrant. And consent, freely or voluntarily agrees to search a property. Plain view doctrine is the evidence is clearly visible. And exigent circumstances is the jeopardize of public safety. And ano na yun? Public safety. And libel is defamation through written, slander, defamation of through verbal, freedom of religion, freedom to believe in any religions, and inherent powers of the state, police power, power of taxation, power of eminent domain, obligation contracts, legal duty of contractor fulfill the promise in the state contract. Bill of rights, legislative acts that impose punishment without trial. Tama ba yun? Bill of rights. Hindi Bill of attainder. Legislative acts that impose punishment without trial. Ex post facto law. The law should not be had retroactive effect. Laws always look forward. And arraignment, the defendant is formally charged, the right is arraigned, court will appoint if he doesn't have one, and fines the money imposed by the court of the punishment of the crimes. Ano susunod na? Doctrine of poisonous tree. Any evidence traps illegal obtained and cannot be used in court against the defendant. That's all, sir. Thank you, sir.